to Sega, what do you think of? Mainly Sonic, or perhaps some of the arcade games such as House of the Dead or possibly Crazy Taxi? Well, today I bring you a Sega franchise that hits near and dear to my heart. No matter how much I stray away from it, it just drags me closer and closer. And of course I'm talking about RGG Studios' Yakuza franchise. The Yakuza series started back in December 8, 2005 for Japan and saw a release in North America and other countries the following year. The games take form of an action-adventure beat-em-up RPG formula that works well within each other as well. Now obviously as a review for the series I cannot talk about the actual first release, as in terms of playing it, since I only own the KIWAMI release. Sorry about that. So, the very first game has seen release span across all of the platforms by nowadays. But this long past gem released on the glorious PlayStation 2, and as I mentioned before, it has made a remake, or KIWAMI, on modern platforms, which I will talk about here shortly. The game follows a Yakuza member by the name of Kazuma Kiryu, and he is thrown 10 years into prison for a crime he hasn't even committed. Why has he done this? Well, cause he didn't want his sworn brother to take the fall for his obviously bad behavior. Anyways, Kiryu finds out that there is some shady things going on in the entire Tojo clan, a part of the clan Kiryu is from. There is a missing 10 billion yen that has been stolen from them. Meanwhile, Kiryu comes across a little girl named Haruka, who is being targeted by the Tojo, all because they believe she has the key to their lost money. Kiryu's sworn brother dies, the girl Kiryu loves dies, and money gets shot out everywhere. Helicopter comes, kill Badman, which is Haruka's real father, and save the day! Hooray! Gotta say, best characters are the ones you are introduced with. Kiryu, Date, Majima, a lovable psycho, and Nishiki. The series is also known for its sub-stories, a little side quest if you will. Just take a break from the main story and listen and deal with other people's problems. Some are fun, to annoying, to downright hilarious. They can often be triggered at any point by roaming, and the sub-story will begin. There's a secret boss fight included into many of the games. In order to unlock the boss, you gotta complete every sub-story. This is something I've never completed for myself playing the games. The game features minigames and fun things to do, as in eating at a restaurant to regain health, or even playing arcade games. And my most favorite thing to do, karaoke. I gotta say, the karaoke alone should have been a spin-off from the main games. There are often collectibles to grab in the world as well. Some are hidden and others in plain sight. Again, this isn't something I wasted too much time on. As of the additions of Yakuza, not much happened. In Japan they released a pre-order bonus of a Tojo Clan lapel pin, and a monography called Kamitai magazine. And as for America and Europe, well, we just got a Flash game and a 2006 live-action adaptation titled Like a Dragon Prologue, directed by Takeshi Miike, and it was available for download at the time. The first game was a fair to positive in the reviews. It was at least a big enough hit for Sega to publish the next game in the series. The first game even won awards for its storytelling and plot development. It seems we have a bright future from here on out. Funny as I should mention this now, but according to Sega and some sources, they are apparently making a Yakuza feature film. If it's in the vein of Sonic, it should be good. And I mean, cast Jim Carrey as Majima. The game's combat is very great if you're playing the KIWAMI. I recommend the KIWAMI and remasters overall. The game really puts you in the action, and even having a meter called heat that you can use to inflict more damage feels so satisfying. As for the RPG mechanics, they come into play when you level up from gaining EXP points. Do sub-stories, fight, eat, discover stuff to gain, and you can unlock newer and better abilities. And now we come to the second game. Kiryu is in some shady business, and this time with a rival called the Omi Alliance. And the main antagonist of the game is Ryuji Goda and the Jingguan Mafia, a Korean organization. Just a lot happens in this game, and it's kind of like a lot of filler, but also a lot of character development happens. So, also ends on a short cliffhanger, but it turns out, I'm like, oh, he's not dead? Okay. On to the next one. So then, the third game, the studio that keeps giving. Kiryu is finally out of the Yakuza life and is just relaxing in Okinawa as he runs his own orphanage, where many other kids reside. The main conflict is the whole CIA is into the mix with the Tojo, and the new addition with a military expansion bill which is a cover-up to get rid of the group of armed smugglers called Black Monday. A mysterious gunman appears which looks like Kiryu's father figure, but it turns out he is Joji Kazuma, his younger brother. Mine, the actual leader of Black Monday, has been the antagonist the entire time. The final battle is on the roof of the hospital where Daigo is at, many wanting to kill Daigo, and Kiryu comes to defeat him. After succeeding, Kiryu and Haruka seize the town, and Kiryu is confronted by a man named Hamazaki, who eventually stabs Kiryu. As he is injured, he is giving his supposed last moments to Haruka. Then the game ends on Kiryu being fine and runs the orphanage again. Moving on to a year later with Yakuza 4, this game introduced new playable characters, Tanimura, Saejima, and Akiyama. Okay, the entire synopsis is gonna be long if I explain it in full, and well, this is just a review of my thoughts. Let's just say, this game is a full murder mystery drama that spans across 4 characters that you have to play with to uncover the true secrets of everything, even things about the first game. So yeah, the gameplay is almost identical to 3 but improved and better. The game's combat feels improved, and overall the game feels great and really shows how well these characters can really come together to help each other out. I want to also add, at this point in the series, we see Kiryu as a strong man who will fight for the right thing and do the right thing always. He isn't a bad man, it's just the world portrays him to be. It's his trait. Remember the saying, never judge a book by its cover? Well, I suppose that's what we are supposed to believe as we play these games. He is or was a Yakuza member, so he's portrayed as a bad man, but as you go throughout the series, you will see that that truly isn't the case here. He is able to care for people, and he is able to show raw human emotion. He actually shows sympathy towards others, despite him being and looking like this angry man. Now moving on to the magnum opus of Yakuza games, Yakuza 5. Yakuza 5 includes a total of 5 characters, Kiryu, Akiyama, Saejima, Haruka, and a new character, Shinada. The synopsis of the story is basically the chairman goes into hiding, Kiryu is away from the orphanage and is a cab driver, Haruka is working on her idol career, so we do dance rhythm minigames, and Akiyama investigates the death of Haruka's manager, which the manager mysteriously committed suicide, but that was actually a cover-up. She was actually murdered, but she gave Haruka the pin, which is the key to the safe because they need this letter, and then Shinada comes along and gets involved with Daigo because he reveals that he is the masked man. And then soon to find out they are going to snipe Haruka while she is at her concert, which was always the manager's dream to do herself, but she passed away. The person behind the gun is Baba, one of Saejima's friends. So come to find this out, Shinada is there to stop Baba, and while that happens, a fight on the Millennium Tower is there. Soon after the big reveal of the main antagonist's terminal diagnosis, so yeah, then Kiryu goes to the Tojo clan and sees his son there, Aizawa. He is only interested in defeating Kiryu, so they battle. Kiryu wins, Haruka announces her retirement live in front of everyone, and Kiryu is in a bad shape and soon passes out in the snow and finds Haruka, and yeah, the game ends there, so that's Yakuza 5. That was just a little overview of the plot, and, you know, this Yakuza 4 probably the longest of the series out there. It honestly took me over 100 hours to finish just the story alone. Imagine doing that plus everything else, like collectibles and stuff. Yeah, I don't think I have that much time. Okay, now time for Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. The game sadly drops other aspects of the previous 2 titles, such as multiple characters, and goes back to playing as only Kiryu. The engine is new, or, well, KIWAMI 2 uses the same engine, but yeah, everything is smooth. I kinda dislike combat in this engine, mostly because it feels useless sometimes. Not that it isn't a step into the right direction with gameplay, but I really like Yakuza 5 and Yakuza KIWAMI's combat. It was great for combos. They feel really slow and sluggish in this one. You can upgrade the speed, but it seems like it doesn't do that much difference. Well then, the game opens up with Kiryu where we last saw him, bleeding out and close to death, but Haruka was there to rescue. Soon he wakes up in the hospital where he is soon arrested and he agrees. So, while in jail for 3 years, Haruka tries to live a normal life at the orphanage, but can't due to her telling of her retirement and her basically telling that she loves her father figure, Kiryu. Which, as you know, it would have had a bad reputation and stuff, so people judged and tried to take tabloid photos of Haruka, so she left the Okinawa orphanage. Kiryu comes back, sees she isn't there, and heads to Kamurocho for clues. Soon he finds out that she was in a hit-and-run accident and is in a coma. He finds that Haruka was protecting a baby. He takes the baby to Onomichi in order to look for answers and find the baby's father. Kiryu meets the Hirose family as part of the Yomi Alliance, and its members Nagumo, Tagashira, Mutsunaga, and Yuta. While investigating who the father of Haruto, the baby, something starts getting unraveled as the secret of Onomichi. Up in Kamurocho, there is a war going on between the Tojo and the Sao Triad, led by Big Lo. Big Lo is Yuta's father of Hirose family. He was born out of the one-child policy. Later it is revealed that Yuta is the father of Haruto. The Sao Triad saw the baby as a threat of the bloodline to them, so they tried to get rid of the baby. So, having to protect the baby, while secrets are coming out from shady businessmen and Triad members. The finale ends up with the secret becoming shown, and it was an unknown warship. Anyways, after it is revealed the man who held the secret was killed by his son and later was inherited his business. And the secret was that he tried to make a contract with the Tojo while Daigo, the chairman, was gone. Haruka soon wakes up and, yeah, she is informed about everything. Kiryu soon ends the final battle and it ends with him being shot multiple times to save Haruka and the baby. Kiryu has finally been mourned over at the end, but it turns out he was bribed by some politician to keep the secret. Kiryu soon agreed to go silent if they made him a death certificate. It was the true way to get out of the Yakuza life for him, and to keep everyone he loves and Haruka safe. There's a post-credits scene with the orphanage and Haruto is close to walking, and Kiryu glances and Haruto looks over, and yeah, and Haruka looks to see nothing there. So, the end. Honestly, when I first saw that scene, I imagined Kiryu ducking underneath or running away. That would be hilarious. Well now, as of right now, I haven't actually played Yakuza 7, or Yakuza Like a Dragon, but I don't see why it gets so much hate online. Mostly because of longtime fans hate that it's going to be a turn-based formula instead of a beat-em-up. I have to say, I'm all down for this. I love innovation and this is what the studio wanted to do, and I fully want to play it. But I like playing Persona 5. I don't know, I guess if you played all the others and then go to this one, it will be weird, I guess. But it is a spin-off for a reason. I just really like the whole party system thing. You know, it looks cool. Anyways, I know I'm missing Yakuza 0 out of this, but honestly I can summarize that on one hand. It's a prequel and kinda not needed unless you want to see more of Kiryu and Majima. And I believe that is gonna do it for all of this right now. Alright, and I will see you all later. Bye.